The rugby world was left in utter shock as Springbok head coach Rassie Erasmus made a decision that no one could have predicted. Before we dive into this shocking move, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss a single moment of the Springboks' explosive journey this season. At a time when the team was riding high from a series of dominant performances in the 2025 Rugby Championship, Erasmus stunned everyone by announcing that Kolisi, the two-time Rugby World Cup winning captain, would not start in the upcoming critical test match. This was not a simple rest rotation or precautionary measure after Kolisi's return from injury. It was a deliberate, high-stakes decision aimed at reshaping the dynamics of the squad and testing the resilience of both veteran and younger players alike. Inside the Springboks camp, tension was palpable. Training sessions became unusually intense as Erasmus observed every drill with sharp scrutiny, evaluating not only technical skill but also leadership under pressure. Veteran players whispered among themselves, uncertain how the shift would affect the team's balance, while emerging talents felt the weight of sudden responsibility thrust upon them. Kolisi, who had just reached the milestone of 100 test caps during the Autumn Nations series, typically a crowning moment of influence and leadership, found himself temporarily sidelined, creating a palpable mixture of shock and anticipation throughout the squad. The announcement reverberated far beyond the locker room. Social media erupted instantly, with reactions ranging from admiration for Erasmus' boldness to criticism over the risk of unsettling a team in peak form. Analysts described the move as a psychological play, a method to provoke the squad into confronting challenges and rising above expectation, while others questioned the timing and reasoning behind sidelining a figure so central to the Springbok identity. Fans debated endlessly, speculating about whether this was the start of a new leadership philosophy or an unnecessary gamble that could backfire at a crucial moment. Eyewitnesses reported that the moment of the announcement was charged with emotion. Kolisi was called for a private conversation with Erasmus, where the coach explained the rationale behind the move. Kolisi listened intently, nodding in understanding, his expression calm but resolute. Moments later, the squad gathered, absorbing the weight of the decision and the implicit challenge laid before them. Erasmus' approach was clear. No player, not even the most celebrated captain, is untouchable. Every individual must prove their value, adapt, and rise to meet the demands of a team striving for excellence. Strategically, Erasmus' decision hints at a larger vision for the future. By placing Kolisi temporarily out of the starting 15, he is creating space for younger leaders to step forward, testing squad depth and flexibility in high-pressure scenarios. Sources inside the camp suggest this may also be a precursor to more innovative leadership experiments, possibly utilizing Kolisi in a tactical off-the-bench role designed to influence key moments rather than traditional captaincy. This unprecedented approach underscores Erasmus' willingness to disrupt tradition and embrace bold, calculated risks for potential long-term gains. The broader rugby community was captivated. Former players, commentators, and analysts compared the move to past controversial decisions in Springbok history, highlighting Erasmus' reputation as a coach unafraid to push boundaries. The sidelining of Kolisi is not just a tactical maneuver. It is a statement that the Springboks are entering a new era, one in which adaptability, leadership versatility, and mental toughness are prized above hierarchy and expectation. As the team prepares for the upcoming test, every training session, every selection, and every tactical adjustment now carries the weight of this historic decision, setting the stage for what promises to be a dramatic and transformative chapter in South African rugby. Ever since Rassie Erasmus dropped that bombshell decision about Kolisi's role last week, the entire rugby world has been obsessing over the reasons behind it, and the Springboks camp is now a pressure cooker of strategy, emotion, and explosive expectations. What was dismissed by some as a mere tactical benching has, in fact, become the central storyline shaping the future of South African rugby, pulling Kolisi, the man, the myth, the living legend, into the eye of an unfolding storm. Just weeks ago, Kolisi was celebrated for reaching 100 test caps, a milestone that etched his name into Springbok lore alongside the greatest to ever pull on the green and gold. He stood shoulder to shoulder with coach Erasmus as they acknowledged their shared legacy in Paris, marking his century of appearances and Erasmus' 50th test at the helm. The moment was meant to be one of reflection and unity, a testament to decades of resilience, leadership, and pure championship pedigree. But in the high-octane world of international rugby, accolades are fleeting, and every celebration comes with a price. Behind closed doors, Whispers began to circulate that Erasmus was planning something far more disruptive than mere selection tweaks. With the 2027 Rugby World Cup looming on the horizon, sources close to the Springbok inner circle revealed that Erasmus wasn't looking to protect Kolisi's legacy, he was trying to reinvent it. That shift was first visible in the way Kolisi was used in the recent Autumn Nations series. While he still led the team and inspired a gutsy victory over France, critics noticed Erasmus making unconventional substitutions and tactical changes mid-game, including bringing Kolisi off earlier than expected, not because of injury, but because of plan. The coach later defended those adjustments, insisting they were part of a broader strategy that placed team adaptability above individual status. This has become the beating heart of the controversy. Instead of being a steadying force in every match, Kolisi's role is now dynamic, sometimes starting, sometimes shifted into bespoke leadership roles depending on the opposition and match situation. And it's this fluid approach that has caught everyone off guard. What makes it even more intriguing is how Kolisi himself has publicly backed Erasmus' rotation policy, an admission that the coach's controversial plan isn't just about shock value, it's about longevity and legacy. Kolisi recently stated that using a larger pool of players and rotating leadership asterisk actually increases his chances of being part of a historic third consecutive Rugby World Cup title in 2027, something no captain in World Rugby has ever achieved. That statement alone reframed the narrative. Instead of being sidelined, Kolisi is being positioned as the ultimate chess piece, someone whose presence can be optimized at key moments rather than spent in every hammer blow. But not everyone is convinced. Traditionalists see this as a gamble that risks weakening on-field authority in crucial phases, while others believe this is Erasmus' masterstroke, a way to extend Kolisi's influence without draining his physical engine, ensuring peak performance when it matters most. Compounding the intensity is the fact that Erasmus himself just received a contract extension that will keep him in charge of the Springboks through the 2031 Rugby World Cup, signaling absolute faith from SA Rugby in his long-term project. Yet, such security for the coach has only raised the stakes for the players. With his vision locked in for the next decade, Erasmus is under mounting pressure to prove that his radical rotation strategy isn't just theoretical, it wins championships. And while the Springbok camp remains outwardly unified, behind the scenes there are rising whispers. Some senior players are said to be quietly questioning whether constantly shifting roles is the right blueprint for a team used to ironclad leadership and definitive structure. At the same time, younger players, those emerging talents Erasmus has been trialing throughout the season, feel invigorated, sensing that their opportunities are no longer hypothetical but real. That dynamic has created an electric tension across the squad, with Kolisi standing right at the center of it, not as a relic of past glory, but as the fulcrum of a dramatic evolution. The result is a narrative not just about selection, or strategy, or even legacy. It's about the psychological battleground forming inside one of rugby's most storied teams. Kolisi is no longer just a captain. He is a figure in transition, a legend being reshaped to fit a vision that could either secure immortality or unravel the delicate balance of Springbok dominance. Behind the shock of Kolisi's altered role lies a much deeper, more calculated strategy, one that only Rassie Erasmus truly understands. While outsiders debate whether benching the two-time World Cup-winning captain is reckless or visionary, insiders reveal that Erasmus' plan is part of a long-term blueprint to redefine the Springboks' identity on the global stage. This is not a reactionary decision. It is a carefully orchestrated move designed to give the squad a tactical edge over every major opponent leading up to the 2027 Rugby World Cup. Sources close to the team suggest that Erasmus has been quietly preparing for a generational shift within the squad. The coach has identified the key areas where the Springboks need versatility and adaptability, and Kolisi's temporary repositioning is central to this evolution. By rotating his captaincy and redefining his on-field responsibilities, Erasmus is creating a scenario in which leadership is no longer concentrated in one individual. Instead, multiple players are being conditioned to make split-second decisions under intense pressure, with Kolisi acting as a mentor and tactical anchor. This approach ensures that the team can function at peak performance even if their star leaders are unavailable or facing unexpected challenges. Strategically, the move also signals Erasmus' focus on long-term sustainability. Kolisi, despite being one of the most influential figures in world rugby, is not immune to the physical toll of repeated high-intensity matches. By placing him in a role where he can contribute without being exposed to the relentless demands of starting every test, Erasmus is effectively preserving the captain for the moments that matter most. This calculated use of his talents reflects the coach's acute understanding of the modern game, where mental sharpness, endurance, and tactical intelligence often outweigh sheer physical presence. The decision also demonstrates Erasmus' ability to manage the psychological dimensions of his squad. Kolisi's acceptance and support of the plan have been crucial in maintaining team morale. Rather than creating resentment or division, Erasmus has positioned his captain as both a leader and a strategist, someone whose influence transcends mere starting positions. Players are increasingly aware that stepping into new roles or taking on additional responsibilities is not a demotion but an opportunity to grow under the guidance of one of rugby's most intelligent coaches. This subtle balance between challenge and opportunity is the hallmark of Erasmus' management style, and it has allowed the Springboks to maintain cohesion while simultaneously introducing calculated disruption. Observers have noted that Erasmus' bold choices are reminiscent of past controversial moves by legendary coaches who reshaped their teams through shock tactics. Yet, there is a modern twist. Unlike previous eras where hierarchy dominated, Erasmus is cultivating collective leadership. By testing younger players in high-pressure environments and strategically rotating veterans like Kolisi, he is preparing the Springboks for a level of adaptability that could give them a decisive edge in international tournaments. It is a high-stakes gamble, but one built on meticulous planning, deep understanding of player psychology, and years of experience at the highest level. The result is a squad that operates with multiple layers of leadership, tactical flexibility, and mental resilience. Kolisi remains central to the plan, not merely as a player but as a linchpin in a system designed to maximize every member's potential. Every training session, team meeting, and match now carries the weight of Erasmus' broader vision. It is clear that this is more than just a strategy for the next test match. It is a deliberate reshaping of the Springboks culture, preparing them for both immediate challenges and long-term dominance. In short, while the rugby world may see the temporary sidelining of Kolisi as shocking or risky, it is, in reality, a masterstroke of strategic foresight. Erasmus is constructing a Springbok team that can thrive under pressure, adapt to any situation, and maintain a psychological edge over opponents, all while keeping his captain at the very heart of the transformation. This is leadership redefined, a calculated blend of innovation, risk, and unparalleled insight into the minds of elite athletes. Before we get into the future of the Springboks, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. The next few months are going to be explosive, and you won't want to miss a single moment. The ripple effects of Rassie Erasmus' controversial decision regarding Kolisi are already shaping the future of the Springboks in ways few could have predicted. On the surface, the team remains composed, yet beneath the disciplined exterior, a quiet storm of opportunity, tension, and transformation is unfolding. With Kolisi's role now dynamic rather than fixed, every player in the squad is being tested in ways that will determine not only their current performance but the trajectory of South African rugby for years to come. Immediately, the team has had to adjust. Younger players, thrust into leadership positions for the first time, are learning to make critical decisions under pressure. They are being challenged to step into the vacuum created by Kolisi's temporary repositioning, and the results have been a mixture of thrilling success and cautionary lessons. Some emerging stars have seized the chance to shine, displaying a maturity and tactical awareness that has impressed both coaches and senior teammates. Others are grappling with the weight of expectation, realizing that the Springboks culture demands nothing less than peak performance at all times. The long-term implications are equally profound. By redefining Kolisi's role, Erasmus is not only preserving his captain's physical and mental energy but also creating a flexible system of leadership that could redefine team dynamics for the next decade. This approach allows the Springboks to operate with multiple tactical leaders on the field simultaneously, reducing reliance on a single figure and increasing adaptability against the most formidable opponents. Analysts suggest that this could give South Africa a decisive edge in future competitions, especially as they prepare for the 2027 Rugby World Cup, a tournament where strategy, depth, and mental resilience will be tested more than ever. Yet the decision carries risk. Veteran players who have grown accustomed to clear hierarchies must adapt quickly, and the pressure on younger athletes to perform consistently is immense. One misstep could destabilize the delicate balance that Erasmus has engineered. However, the early signs are promising. Training sessions show a team learning to operate fluidly, anticipating each other's decisions, and absorbing the leadership of both established stars and rising talents. Kolisi, for his part, remains the emotional and tactical anchor, guiding from the sidelines when necessary and stepping into decisive moments when his experience is most needed. This new approach is already reshaping the team's identity. The Springboks are no longer just a side led by a single iconic captain. They are a squad of multiple leaders, each capable of influencing the outcome of a match. It is a shift that has sparked debate worldwide. Some purists see it as risky experimentation, while others recognize it as the evolution of elite rugby strategy. Either way, the message is clear. The Springboks under Erasmus are evolving, innovating, and refusing to be predictable. Looking ahead, this transformation sets the stage for a dramatic and tension-filled period. Matches that were once routine are now psychological battlegrounds, testing adaptability, decision-making, and resilience. Players who embrace the challenge may rise to stardom, while those who falter could see their roles diminished. The outcome of Erasmus' experiment will not just define the success of the Springboks in the short term, but could alter the very culture and structure of South African rugby for generations. In the end, the temporary sidelining of Siya Kolisi is far more than a tactical decision. It is the opening chapter in a story of reinvention, a calculated gamble designed to maximize talent, preserve longevity, and ensure that the Springboks remain at the pinnacle of world rugby. Every training session, every match, and every leadership choice is now part of a larger narrative, one in which adaptability, mental strength, and bold strategy determine who will thrive and who will be left behind. Under Erasmus' vision, the Springboks are not just playing rugby. They are pioneering a new era of dominance, with Kolisi at the very heart of the transformation, proving that true leadership sometimes means stepping aside to allow others to rise.